not so much questioning God, but asking God, why do we need this word?
Yeah.
Isn't there another word that might be more appropriate or beneficial? Then being convicted in my spirit, it had to let me know that there is nowhere in God's word where it is inappropriate.
That's right.
And that it is always relevant.
All good.
It did not lose its power
Yeah, God.
while we were sleeping.
Yeah.
I want to share with you this morning, church, that I got you, ushers. It's going to be good.
It still works.
You might not have noticed it, but for the last 6 to 8 months, God has been doing a work in here. And sometimes his work involved pruning,
Wow.
cutting off. Other times, it has been him allowing strife in difficult moments. But like the song said, it only comes to make us strong. And to prepare us for the season that he is about to take us into. And we're just about out of this season now. But I want to take you this morning to the book that my wife loves so much. It's called the book of Hebrews. I want to give a praise report this morning that in my house he grew. What she didn't tell you this morning is not only did I brew the coffee, I fixed the coffee for her and brought it to her this morning. In the 10th chapter.
Glory to God.
You would slide down to that 25th verse. I want to read it for you. This is a version that you might not be acquainted with, but it's the New Century Version, and the 25th verse simply says, you should not stay away from church meetings, as some are doing. But you should meet together and encourage each other.
That's right.
Do this even more as you see the day coming. Thus ends the reading of our word this morning, and I want you to just think with me for a moment or two from the subject, church matters.
Come on.
Church matters.
Yeah.
We are living in a time when it seems in some communities church doesn't matter as much as it used to. I want to declare as a witness to you this morning, if it had not been for the church, I don't know where the African American community would be.
That's right. That's right.
Nobody but God could bring you out of chains of slavery.
That's right. Nobody.
And cause you to go through 110 years of segregation.
Come on now.
And then I'll allow you to walk in the highest places in this land.
Yes, God.
Even become president. Nobody but God.
Yes, God.
Nobody but God could have you go in a restaurant where black folks serve white folks, and now you go in the restaurant and you can find.
That's right.
I'll have 2 of these and 1 of those, if you please. Nobody but God. I find that in some of our communities we have reduced the church to nothing more than a sideshow that takes place on Sunday morning.
Jesus.
All we want to know is, did the preacher preach good this morning? Did the choir sing this morning? But nobody is asking, what word did you get this morning? I got a few points for you, and then I'm going to let you go. First point is simply this. What is the church? I believe that if I asked, starting with Jay, and went around the room, we'd get a number of different answers. And I'm not asking, what is the church to you? I'm simply asking, what is the church? The first thing we must understand that the church is an organism that has organization. An organism because it is made up of people who are alive and not dead.
Okay. Wow. Thank you, God.
Wow. Yeah.
If the church is made up of people called out believers, then the church has life in it.
Yeah.
And the church is not the walls, but the church is every believer that has been called out to be in the organism.
That's right.
An organism grows.
That's right.
It has a soul.
That's
It
right.
has a spirit. In the church, it's an organism.
Yeah.
Big church. Amen.
There are distinct parts in the organism.
Amen.
Just as blood determines your family. Family is common blood flowing through common veins. The church is a common spirit flowing through common vessels. So we are an organism. We are alive. Did not Jesus say that I am the way, the truth, and the life? The church has the life of God in it. It's alive. But it has organization. It is not a bunch of folks accidentally thrown together. It is organized. When he established the church, he called out believers. And he gave some leadership over a certain number and some leadership over another number. It has a pastor, a shepherd. It has Jesus as its head. The church has organization. It is not just by happen circumstance. It is organized. And so when we say or hear somebody say that we ought to do things in the church decent and in order, decent speaks to the organism.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because in other words, he's saying, yes, you are a church, but you ought to behave or conduct or carry yourself a certain way. And what is the way? You ought to be decent.
Yeah. Come on now.
In your former life, you used to be indecent.
Yeah.
But you're a child of God now. You ought to do things decently. In other words, when folks do you wrong, there is a particular way for you to respond. Don't let, because some folks will be in the church and if you do something wrong, look, don't let me take my wig. Oh, you say what? But we don't act that way in the church. Decent means I want to treat you good, even if you treat me bad. And it's not because I don't want to treat you bad. That, baby, I do. But I'm a child of God. And he requires a different behavior out of me. But it says you ought to do things in order as well. In other words, your life should be organized. A little bit of orange juice. Your life should be organized. You shouldn't have a bunch of mess, a messy life. In other words, it should be organized. Thank you so much. It should be organized that when you put your feet on the floor in the morning, the organization in my life says you ought to say, thank you, Jesus. In other words, there should be praise. It's a part of the order of my life. Prayer is a part of the order of my life. Helping folks who need help is a part of my order, my structure. my life structure is organized. Because to be disorganized would be like you going to get some information from somebody and they're saying one thing on Monday, but you check them out on Wednesday and they're saying something else. Or if you check them out on Monday, they're doing one thing, but on Wednesday, they're doing something else. You're not organized. You'll go whichever way the wind is blowing. Your life should be organized. What is the church? The church is more relevant today than it has ever been in human history. Don't we get confronted with death every day? If I turn the news, they're telling me about everybody that died. But they didn't tell me anything about folks that got saved. As a matter of fact, if they can't find anybody that died in your neighborhood, they'll go looking in other neighborhoods to put some death in front of your face. If they can't find anything in any other state nearby, whatever, they'll go across the world and find somebody that's been killed and put death in your face. We're confronted with it in some kind of way all day long. But in the church, we have life. And we can give life and share life in a dying world. The church has the power to change lives, even in the church. But what I find sometimes, folks, is we got so many people spending so much time trying to change the church that they won't allow the church to change them. If you weren't focusing on craziness, you could focus more on some positive stuff. I tell you, and I give you this morning, church matters. Yes, it does. It matters. And this is what the church is. We're an organism. We will always represent Christ no matter where we go. You don't get days off. You don't get a vacation. No matter where, if I go to the uttermost parts of the world, doesn't the Bible say that he's there? You don't stop representing Christ when church is over on Sunday, do you? And then wait until the next Sunday, and then you'll start representing him again. It don't work like that. Church is not what we do. Church is who we are. And when church becomes who you are, you miss one Sunday, and it'll seem like you've been gone for months. That's because church is who you are. You're not playing church. And we still got folks playing church. You know, they can get happy with the best of them. They can get their holy dance on with the first of them. But they've got a form of godliness, but they don't have the power of God. I would rather sit and do nothing in my seat and have the power of God in me than to get up and act like I got it and have nothing. What is the church? The church is you. And you. And you. So if you start talking about the church and bad mouthing the church, you talking about yourself. I just want you to know who the church is. Because if you love yourself, you would love the church. And if you love the church, you're loving yourself. Oh, Lord, help me, Holy Spirit. What the church is. See, you got to know what the church is in order for you to be able to determine what the church is not. Because there are false folk that come up in the church. But if you don't know what the church is, false folks will have you spreading fake news. I want to get on to the next point because I don't have much time, but the second point is simply this: the church matters to God.
My God.
the church matters to God. Oh, preacher man, pastor man, how can you say that the church matters to God? I can see it because one day my Lord was sitting in glory on his throne at the right hand of the Father. And the Father whispered something in his ear. And he got up off his throne. And came into the world.
My God.
He had to go through the sinfulness of Cain. He had to deal with the disobedience. He had to come through the 14 generations from Abraham to David. Then he had to come through 14 more generations from David to the carrying away into Babylon. He had to come through 14 more generations from the carrying to Babylon to the birth of Jesus. And all the while that he came through, he had to deal with his people worshiping other gods. He had to deal with his people turning their back on him. He had to deal with his people robbing him of tithes and offerings. He had to deal with people that wouldn't show love one to another. He had to deal with folks lying on him. He had to deal with folks using him to get money. He had to deal with all of our sinfulness, all of our wrongness, and he went through it. Not only did he go through it, he said, I'm going to get married to you.
Wow. Jesus. Love you, God.
Not only am I going to marry you, he said, I'm going to go to a cross and die for you. If God went through all of that, then the church must matter to God. Simple question. If the church matters to God, why doesn't it matter to you? I don't want to hear what you say out of your mouth about how much it matters to you. Because for as far as I'm concerned, action is not what you say, it's what you do. See, because your works will speak more for you than your mouth. Your works will tell me more about your faith than what you say about your faith. The church matters to the Lord. And the church should matter to you. But I find that the Lord just asks a simple thing. If it matters to you, he said, I'm going to have Paul, and we believe it was Paul that wrote the book of Hebrews. He said, I'm going to have Paul write this to you. He said, here. How much more, Paul? Find your paper, Paul. He says, if it matters to you, then you should not stay away. Somebody. He said, if it matters to you, then you should not stay away from church attendance. But he added, like some do. In other words, the Lord is telling us that church attendance matters. Because church matters. Is it possible that the Lord is saying to me that church matters and that it is important because there's something good there for me? Because is there something that's going to benefit me in the church that I need to go, not just some Sundays, but every Sunday? Do you know that the word that the Lord has sent for you to speak to your situation, to deliver you out of your situation, was on the second Sunday, but you didn't show up until the fourth?
Watch it now. Watch it, Pastor.
And then you will blame the Lord as to why he hasn't delivered you, and why you haven't heard from him. It isn't because he hasn't spoken it to you. It's because you've been disobedient to him. You were where you weren't supposed to be when the Lord was telling you where you should be to get the blessing that I've had for you. Oh, help me, Holy Ghost. You ought to stop making excuses for why you can't go to church and give reasons why you can't stop me from going to church. Joshua said, as for me and my house, we got some folks in church that love that verse. When the preacher or the pastor said, as for me and my house, you lying little runt. You trying to retranslate the verse to me, as for me and my house, sometimes. Wow. But I don't find sometimes anywhere in the text.
That's right.
Notice also in the text that it does not say only on Sunday. It says you ought to not stop attending church. Period. I see you on Sunday, but on Bible study night.
Watch it, Pastor.
Is that the night Green Leaf come on? Does Hammer Hat Nuts come on that night? Do I need to change today? But if he insists on regular attendance, that's where the source for everything that you need is. And it seems to me that if I was hungry and I was in a grocery store or a restaurant where they had plenty of food, it seems to me like I would give me some of that food. Especially if I didn't have any money, they said they were giving it away. I mean, I'd be up in there. I'll take some of them potatoes and tomatoes and all kinds of stuff y'all got. I mean, you don't bring a horse to water and tell him not drink. You don't come to church on Sunday and not drink of the Spirit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lord have mercy. But the text gives us an example to attendance. It says that you ought to not stay away. But sometimes, being in the house of God, we have to go through some rough times, some hard times. And it is in those hard times that the enemy will try his hardest to separate you from your source. That's when he'll try the hardest to separate you from what you need. That's when he'll try the hardest to stop you and to block you from your deliverance. He will stop you and try to block you from the blessing that the Lord has for you. So when hard times come, one of the things that we do is we make an excuse why we can't go to church, but yet the church is exactly where you need to be.
That's true. Now that's true.
Some folks say, oh, I'm so brokenhearted because my boyfriend dissed me on. Did you see the tweet he sent up? I ain't like that. But if you would just get up and go to church, somebody might remind you that you ought to pray for that brother. And that you should thank God that he woke you up and that he gave you deliverance from the brother. Maybe breaking up with the brother is not a problem. Maybe breaking up with the brother is God supplying your needs. Help me, Holy Ghost. It says you ought to go to church every Sunday. But the church, it also says something at the end of the text. It says, as some are doing, some folks just not going to church. But isn't that always true? In any group, in any gathering, there will be some that will and some that won't. Maybe their level of growth isn't where yours are. maybe what they've got to do is go through some more struggles, hit their heads against some stumbling blocks for them to realize that you ought to not avoid church on Sundays or Wednesdays or whenever there's a gathering, because you need that in order to deal with all the other stumbling blocks and hitting your head and disappointments and friends talking about you and friends lying on you and folks walking out of your life and folks walking in your life that mean you no good. Maybe you ought to go to church. And maybe you might learn how to deal with your situation better. Help me, Holy Ghost. It didn't say that some might do, but it said that some are doing. Can I suggest to you, I believe that the reason why the Lord had Paul write that part is because you shouldn't base your attendance on somebody else.
Wow. Wow.
Because as soon as you get mad at them, either they won't come to church or you won't come to church.
Wow.
But God didn't create us to follow after the Son.
Yeah.
He created us to follow after Him.
That's right.
The steps of a righteous man are ordered by God.
That's right.
Oh, He gives me a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. I walk by faith and not by sight. I don't care what the sun's doing. Because some folks will lead you straight to hell. Yeah, you got to watch the sun. Because the sun is sitting right next to you sometimes. There will always be some who are not obedient, and there will be some that are obedient. I don't care about them, but I believe that obedience is better than sacrifice. I don't care if my knee is hurting me, I'm still going to church. Because if it was hurting at home, I might as well let it hurt in church. Maybe I can praise my way through. Maybe I can glorify God my way through. Maybe I can worship my way through. Yeah. But the text also takes a look at special encouragement. For Christians going through hard times, we ought to encourage one another. We ought to encourage one another. And then that particular text, I'm going to back up and give you the other two verses I'm going to close out with. But if you need any reason, you ever notice how the Lord doesn't give you a reason to do something that He wants you to do ever based on somebody else? You ever notice that? It's usually always based on Him. And so the last part of the text says, because we can trust God to do what He promised.
Yeah.
Because we can trust God to do what He promised.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm a little older now. But I don't care what age I was, there was always some of my friends who promised me that they were going to do something that they didn't do. But God has never broke His promise.
Never.
If He says it, I can trust it. What you say? Maybe. But what God says? Absolutely. Because His word has never, ever been spoken over my life and returned to Him void. It accomplished in me what He sent it out to do. And it will accomplish in you what He sends it out to do in your life. Oh, my. I can stand on the promises of God more than I can stand on anything else in this world. Who are you standing on? Who are you trusting? Are you trusting your spouse more than you are God? Hold on for a second. But are you trusting that job for your financial needs more than you trust in the Lord? Do you have a great deal of faith? And I'm not saying you don't need to, but are you trusting in your doctor to get you healed more than you are the one that created you to heal you? Are you asking for the government to give you peace when the Lord will give you a peace that will pass all understanding? Are you? Can you trust in God? Can you trust in what he promised you? Have you ever seen God be untrustworthy? Have you ever seen God not keep a promise? I don't have to look at anybody else. I can just look at me.
Yeah, yeah.
And my source has always been the church.
Yeah.
My own life is evidence that church matters. If I did not have a church home to go to, where I could be fed at, where I could grow spiritually,
Yeah.
then this stuff that's going on in the world would drive me nuts. It would drive me crazy. I don't care about no 45
Yeah.
or any of his little henchmen. Because as black folks, we done faced worse than 45 before. If the Lord brought us through that, he can bring us through this. If whatever I'm going through in my life seems hard and insurmountable, all I have to do is just think about where he brought me from. And if it hadn't been for the church, who told me I could, when the world told me I couldn't, where would I be? I want to give you a little bit of verse 23, because we're getting ready to close out. Verse 23 says, let us hold firmly to the hope that we have confessed, because we can trust God to do what he promised.
Yeah.
Did we just talk about the promise? But doesn't the word back it up?
Yeah.
Doesn't the word back it up?
Yeah.
He will do what he promised. Not what you promised, what he promised. So let us hold firmly to the hope. What is the hope? What is the hope? The hope is our belief in Christ Jesus. That no matter what comes, he's going to make it all right.
Yeah.
No matter what comes, he's got a place for me and that I'm going to be victorious. It's one thing to confess Jesus out of your mouth, but it's another thing not to use it.
Wow.
It's another thing to not be able to use him. If he is an omnipotent God, why can't you tap into the power of God? Well, it's hard for you to tap into the power of God if you don't want to spend any time with God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people treat God like he's a remote control.
Yeah.
Bam, change it into that channel. Change that. No, God is not like that. God will bless you and give you the desires of your heart, but they must come through Christ Jesus. And in order for them to come through Christ Jesus, your will has to line up with God's will. You got to go to church. Folks want to expect everything, but don't even want to sacrifice getting up on Sunday morning and go to church. But yet want God to do everything for them when they say it. But God doesn't do everything you want when you say it. It's when he's ready for you.
Yeah.
Because we ask for some stuff that we think we're ready for, but we ain't ready for it. Give me $1 million, plenty of money in the bank. If he gave some of us $1 million of money in the bank, like that crazy money, we lose it just like that because we weren't ready for it.
Yeah.
We weren't ready for it. Let me give you this. Verse 24 says, let us think about each other and help each other to show love and do good deeds. Oh, my. Let us think about each other
Yeah.
and help each other to show love and do good deeds. Why do you make it so hard to love? Why is it so hard for you to love sometimes? Can I give you the antidote to make it easy for you? Change the perspective of your love.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, and it's so hard, normally your love is based on the individual that you refuse to love in turn.
Yeah.
If I can just get you to change your perspective and have your loving this person or that person based on the Lord as opposed to the person, then you could love like crazy.
Yeah.
Why would you say that? Because while we were yet sinners,
Wow.
Christ died for us. He loved us first. And so his love is a perfect love. If you're basing your love on somebody else or the object of what you're loving, you know folks love and they'll have alternative motives. But it's easier when I know that I'm loving because the Lord requires me to love this nasty, no good, no count, criminal, crazy, sinful, despicable person. I still love you. She done called. I know that hussy lied on me. I know she was doing so. But guess what? If you change your perspective from her to the Lord, you'll say, I love you anyhow.
Yeah.
I'll be with you. You know what, Lord? Can you pray for Sister Girl?
Yeah.
Because she's got some issues.
Yeah.
Change your perspective as to the reason why you love. He says, and if you do that, then you ought to be about the business of encouraging one another. That's what I love about Heart for God. When somebody has an issue or a problem or something that they stand up and give a testimony to, we will all in here start to gather around that person and support that person and love that person. Do you know that you're doing the work of the Lord?
Yeah.
Do you know you're doing what's required of you? Because it might be easier just to sit around and say nothing and do nothing. It just takes some effort to say something or to do something. But look at the returns on your investment or your sacrifice. You will bless somebody. Can I give you an example? And Alicia had an issue, and this has happened many times in the church. It was troubling her, it was worrying her. She got some reports that weren't favorable, weren't good reports. But what started to happen, in fact, I think Sister Angie preached that Sunday, didn't she? But my point is, folks started to gather around and support and encourage. I think even Sister Wilma ministered to it. But that's what it is. That's where you can see that church matters. Because you might not have been able to get that in your home or in your neighborhood or your family. But I can get that in church. When I go to church, I know I got some folks that's going to love me just for me. It don't care what I do or what I'm going through. They're going to love me. Because church matters in that situation.
Yeah.
Amen? Amen. So the Word of God says that we ought to not stop coming to church every now and then. But you need to be in somebody's church every Sunday. Because if you want to try to make the world better, make your church better. Make your church have more of an impact on changing the world and saving lives or souls. Salvation is free and we have it in the church. And all we have to do is be willing to allow it to pour over onto other folks. Amen? Amen. Church matters.